What's up, everyone? It's Tia. Today, we're going to roll through a quick floor-focused yoga flow together. So let's meet in a child's pose. We'll get started. Big toes together, knees wide, hips rock back to the heels. And we just let that heart melt to the floor. Allow your body to settle in here, just getting heavy. Letting the breath flow. And starting to let the day you've had so far melt away. Starting to carve out some time for you. And we'll take one final breath in. And big breath out. Firming the hands to the earth, we'll start to shift our weight forward. Pelvis drops to the floor. Sternum reaches high to the sky as we find our back bend. Rocking the hips back to the heels in the exhale. And just starting to move through this, forward and back, flowing on your cycle of breath. Now, anytime we're coming to that back bend, we want to keep those glutes nice and tight. And we want to let the shoulders pull down the spine, away from the ears. Let's take one final cycle here, rocking the hips back. And then shifting the weight forward, finding that back bend. Pause here. Glutes tight. Sternum lifts high. Take a breath in as we gaze to the sky. And then exhale, begin to lower down, belly and chest to earth. Hands under shoulders, chin tucks to chest. Let's just start to lift the chest up, bringing the hands with you on the exhale. Inhale, coming back down toward the earth. Little Cobra crunches here. Starting to drive a bit more fire through the spine. Now, if you prefer to keep your hands on the ground as we lift, you are more than welcome to do so. Last 3. Last 2. And last 1. Little lift and pause at the top. Hands come out wider than your mat. And we'll start to straighten those arms, lifting the chest. Draw the right shoulder to the midline of the mat, finding a stretch through the front of the shoulder. And then sweeping up, switching it to the other side. We're just rocking back and forth here. Once again, we're moving on your flow of breath. We're just moving into the depth that feels safe for your body. And don't force yourself into stretch sensation. Find what works and move through it. One more on each side. Coming up back through center. Take a pause at the top, gazing up once again. And then lowering down, finding your Sphinx. Forearms to the earth, elbows under shoulders. Think of drawing the heart through the biceps. We have a bit of engagement. And then option to stay right here, or option to start bending the right leg. Maybe right hand grabs right ankle. Maybe you draw the heel towards the glute. Perhaps you slide the big toe towards the elbow crease. Roll the shoulder back, kick the foot into the hand, and just find a little bit of engagement through the quad, through the spine. A wonderful opener through that shoulder. Breath in. And exhale to release. Coming back to Sphinx, we'll move through the other side. Once again, if you prefer to stay here, please feel free. Left knee bends. Reaching back, binding on. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you draw the heel toward the glute. Or maybe you slide big toe into elbow. Wherever you are, push out and away with that right forearm. Think about gazing over the left shoulder and kicking the foot into that forearm. Just creating a bit more space through the shoulder. Breath in. And exhale to release. Coming back to your Sphinx. Now we will be moving toward a plank here. You're more than welcome to keep the knees tapped, or you can tuck those toes, floating up, hips in line with shoulders, upper back puffed up, breathing through the belly. Final breath in. And with the exhale, we'll tap the knees, rise to the hands. I'm going to start a few cat-cows here. Fingers spread, toes tucked. On the inhale, we'll arch the back, gazing high. And on the exhale, we'll round that spine, nose tucking toward pelvis. Just moving here on your flow of breath once again. Final cycle in. And final cycle out. My friends, let's make our way back to downward facing dog. Knees lift, head softens to relax, gazing towards those heels. Maybe you're starting to walk the dog, bending one knee, straightening the other leg. It's almost as if you're kneading out the mat with those heels. Finding your way back to center and stillness, let's lift the right leg up on the inhale. And then we'll step the right foot outside of the right hand. Left knee taps down as you arrive, and we'll sweep that right hand high to the sky. Think about pulling the shoulder blades back, so we're aligning the wrists and the shoulder joint. Just gazing over the fingers on that nice rotation through the spine as we think of pulling the pelvis down towards the earth. Exhale, right hand comes down. Option to stay here, option to come down onto the forearms like you're bowing forward. 2 cycles in our deep hip opener. Big breath in. And with that breath out, we'll begin to rise back up, hands to the earth. Start to walk that right foot to the center of the mat, tucking the left toe, those arms sweep tall. We'll take an inhale, gazing up, squeezing the glutes, sternum to the sky as we find our back bend. Think of squaring the hips, energy pulls to the midline. And with that exhale, come back to neutral, hands float to heart center. Finding a twist through the spine, left elbow locks right knee, Press those palms together and gaze over the right shoulder. Just breathe. Cycle in. With that cycle out, we'll unwind. Two hands down to the earth. Step that right foot back to meet the left, keeping the knees to the ground. Hands are under shoulders. Let's lower all the way down. Belly and chest come down at the same time. As we arrive, lift that chest up, finding your way back to your spinal bend. And then tuck the toes, pushing back up for downward facing dog. On an inhale, left leg sweeps up and back. Exhale, left foot outside of left hand, tapping the right knee down as you arrive. Left arm peels up to the sky, squaring the hips, keeping the glutes tight, and rolling the shoulders back, trying to align the wrists and the shoulder joints. The gaze is up over those left fingers. And at the same time, we're almost drawing the pelvis towards the earth. Breath in. And exhale to release. Two hands come down. Now you may stay right here. Alternatively, you could come onto the forearms, just finding a deep hip opener through the left side. 2 cycles of breath. Last cycle in. And last cycle out. Hands to earth. Start to rise up. We'll walk the left foot to the center of the mat. And then we'll start to spin those fingers toward the sky. Starting with the neutral spine, palms come together as we find our back bend. Sternum lifts high, glutes tight, shoulders roll back. Breath in. And exhale, neutralize. Hands come to heart center. Find your rotation. Right elbow, left knee. Press the palms together and gaze over that left shoulder. Working the stability of the hips. And of course, finding that lovely stretch through spine. Breath in. And exhale, begin to unwind. Hands to earth. Left foot steps back to meet the right. Now keep those knees planted. The wrists and shoulders are aligned. And let's lower down. Shoulders and hips come down at the same time. Elbows by those ribs. When we arrive, lift the chest, find your back bend. Glutes tight, shoulders pull down. Big breath. And exhale. Shift back to downward facing dog. On an inhale, right leg sweeps up and back. With the exhale, right foot steps beside the right hand, left knee taps down once again. Just as we did before, sweep that right hand to the sky. Option to stay here. Option to bend the left knee, and maybe that right hand grabs the left foot. Now you could pull the heel to the glute, big stretch of the quad, or you could kick the foot into the hand, rolling that shoulder back. A little bit more stretch for the shoulder here. Choose what serves you. Let the pelvis melt and breathe through the belly. Final cycle in. And exhale, release. 2 hands come down. From here, walking the right foot center, and then arms rise tall once again. This time, core stays nice and tight. Let's sweep the fingers to the right, finding a big side body stretch through the left. Shoulders and hips stay square to the top of the mat, Keep pulling those inner thighs together for stability. Big breath in. Exhale to rise. Let the arms come down into a T shape and then twist open to the right, finding a little bit of spinal rotation. So try to keep the wrists and the shoulders in line, moving right through that torso. Hold to breathe for 3, 2, and 1. Square up, rise tall, fingers sweep all the way up before moving to the lower back. Interlace those fingers, start to draw the knuckles down as we lift the sternum high, back bend. Breath in. And this time with the breath out, start to fold forward, knuckles draw up as the chest draws low. Right shoulder, right knee snuggle together. Final breath in. And exhale to release. 2 hands come down to the mat. Right foot steps back to meet the left. Let's move through that flow once again. Knees to earth, lower down, one long line, elbows by the ribs. As you arrive, come to your back bend. Lift the chest, keep those glutes tight. And then shift the way back, downward facing dog. 2 cycles here. Last breath in. And last breath out. All right. Left leg sweeps up and back on the inhale. Exhale, left foot steps outside of left hand. Tap the right knee down. Then sweep the left arm toward the sky. Option to stay here. Option to bind left hand, right foot. Maybe you pull the heel to the glute. Maybe you kick the foot into the hand. Just find the variation that works for you. Beautiful breath in. With that exhale, unwinding. Limbs come down, walk the left foot to the center of the mat, and then begin to rise up, spinning those arms tall. Glutes tight, inner thighs pull together. There's a slight pelvic tilt here. Let the fingers float to the left as we create space through the right side body. Shoulders pull back and down, so there's space between the shoulders and the ears. We're maintaining the square of shoulders and hips to the top of the mat. Cycle in. And exhale, rise. Arms peel to a T shape. And then start to twist, rotating through the spine as we gaze to the left. Try to keep wrists and shoulders in line. Really press through the right knee and squeeze that right glute. Trying to maintain the alignment of the lower body as we create a little more strength through that spine. Breath in. Exhale, unwind, arms sweep tall. Circle them all the way down behind the back. Fingers interlace. Knuckles draw down as that chest lifts. Find your back bend. Glutes tight. Shoulders open. Core strong. Final breath in. And exhale, fold forward, let it fall. Knuckles go up as the chest goes low. Left shoulder snuggles left knee. Try to draw those hands a little higher. We'll be here for 3 cycles. Last breath in. And exhale, release. 2 hands come down. Step that left foot back. Let's move through our final vinyasa of practice here. Wrists and shoulders align. Lower down. All together, chest, hips, and head. When you arrive, lift the chest, find your back bend. Core tight, gaze up, take a gulp of breath in. And this time with the exhale, let's push back to child's pose or balasana. Hips root to heels, arms sweep out in front, and just finding our way back to the position we started in. Bending the fingers, start to walk the hands to the right as we root the left hip toward the left heel. Nice side body stretch through the left. Walking the hands back through center, and then walking those hands to the left. This time, right hip roots to the right heel, finding that nice side body opener. Final breath in. And exhale, hands walk back through center. Let the body settle here. And as we take these final few breaths, I'd like you to ask yourself, how do I feel now in comparison to how I felt before this practice? What does moving my body mean to me? You can stay here as long as you want. Thank you so much for sharing your time, your body, and your energy with me.